The autumn in Columbus, Ohio was like a painting. Trees dyed in red and gold, and a cool breeze brushing against the cheeks. Michelle Roberts stood by the kitchen window, hands wrapped around a warm coffee mug. She was a freelance graphic designer, creating logos and brochures from her cozy home studio. "Good morning, beautiful," said her husband James, descending the stairs while buttoning his white coat. He was an obstetrician at the local hospital, known for his calm demeanor and kind smile. They had been married 5 years, united by love and by the quiet struggle of 2 years of fertility treatments. Yet their bond had only grown deeper. That evening, Michelle's sister Caroline and her husband Tom were coming for dinner. Caroline, 8 months pregnant with her first child, was radiant with maternal joy. Michelle genuinely rejoiced in her sister's happiness, despite her own challenges. When the couple arrived, Caroline beamed as she supported her belly. Tom stood protectively at her side. Michelle placed her hand on Caroline's belly and felt the baby kick. "She's going to be a soccer player," she joked, bringing smiles all around. Over dinner, the conversation turned to baby names. "Michael for a boy, Emily for a girl," Caroline said. Tom chimed in with a grin. "But I vote for something unique." They discussed cribs, car seats, and made plans to shop that weekend together. At the baby store, Caroline pushed a stroller, imagining the life to come. Michelle reassured her, "You'll be a wonderful mother. I've seen you with your students. You already are one." The baby shower planning began soon after. Michelle designed pastel-toned invitations by hand, reading, "Welcome, little one." She and James arranged cake orders, decorations, and venue layout. Tom even helped pick out balloon arches and banners. The whole family poured their love into the event. On the day of the party, everything sparkled in the autumn sunlight. 30 guests arrived: teachers, neighbors, family, all bearing gifts and warm wishes. Caroline entered in a soft blue dress, eyes shining as she saw the beautiful decorations. "It's like a dream," she whispered. Games were played, childhood photos were guessed, and Caroline laughed with the joy of someone surrounded by love. Then came the gifts: adorable clothes, blankets, and finally, a wooden crib from the whole family. "It's the one we looked at together," she said, tearing up. Just after, Caroline paused, hand on her belly. "The baby's really active today." Guests took turns feeling the movements, full of awe and delight. Michelle placed her hand gently and smiled. So full of energy. But when James, ever the doctor, did the same, his expression changed. He excused himself and Michelle quietly, urgency in his voice. Outside, in the parking lot, James's face turned pale. "Call an ambulance," he said. Michelle's heart dropped. Everything collapsed in that moment. The ambulance arrived. Caroline, confused, was told it was just a precaution. Michelle held her sister's hand tightly, her voice shaking. "It'll be okay." At the hospital, the ultrasound confirmed James's fears. Dr. Wilson delivered the devastating words, "We can't detect a fetal heartbeat. The baby likely passed several weeks ago." Caroline was in denial. "She was just moving. Everyone felt it," she protested. The doctor gently explained that muscle spasms and intestinal activity could mimic fetal movement. Then came a shocking revelation. 2 weeks earlier, Caroline had fallen downstairs and was admitted to the hospital. Records showed she was informed of the fetal death then, but she had refused to believe it. In her grief, she had buried the truth deep inside. Caroline wept. "I wanted to be a mother. I didn't want to disappoint anyone." "You already were," Michelle said through tears. "You loved that baby, and that's what matters." Caroline underwent surgery the next day. The family said goodbye to the tiny body in a quiet ceremony, flowers placed in the small coffin. The grief was profound, but shared. Over the next few months, Caroline began psychiatric treatment. She slowly accepted reality with the unwavering support of Michelle, Tom, and James. "I understand now," she said softly one day. "I lost the baby." Spring came. Caroline was discharged. greeted by a flower garden Michelle had planted in memory of the child. They placed a small marker. To our beloved child. A year passed. One day, Caroline and Tom shared a new decision. They wanted to adopt. Even without blood, love creates family, Caroline said. Michelle embraced her. That's beautiful. You'll be amazing parents. That autumn, they welcomed 5-year-old Michael into their lives. On their first night together, the boy looked up and said, "Thank you for becoming my mom." Caroline answered, tears flowing, "Thank you for becoming my son." 2 years later, at Christmas, the family gathered again. Michael laughed and talked about school. Caroline looked around the table, eyes shining. "At that time," she said, "I thought my world had ended, but it wasn't the end. It was a new beginning." Michelle nodded, knowing the truth in her sister's words.